On the afternoon of January 3rd, most of E Company headed back to our old position in the woods overlooking Foy. A few men remained in the Boisjacques attached to D Company to hold the main line of resistance.
Good luck, ladies.
Nice knowing you.
HBO has long boasted a deep well of original content that include the likes of The Sopranos and Game of Thrones. The latest editions continue their prolific track record with fan-favorite series like Barry and Euphoria. HBO Max released in May of 2020, which included brands bundled under the Warner Media division of AT&T, as well as licensed content like the complete collection of Studio Ghibli films, British import I Hate Susie, and 700 episodes of iconic BBC series like Doctor Who, The Office, and Luther.
Are you with me, Titus Pullo? Will you come with me to Rome?
Yes. Yes, sir. Certainly.
Titus Pullo is with me. And you? Are you with me?
We've originally made a list for the top 10 HBO original shows, and all of those were ranked by Tomatometer from the critics. But for this list, we're focusing on the audience score. While most of the more popular HBO shows will appear here, we'll see some that didn't make the previous list we've done. We've rounded up audience scores for the best HBO series and miniseries.
Look, Murray, we're just ringing wondering if the fellas will be up for recording a charity song for our event.
World's full of possibilities, and unfortunately I haven't spoken to them for about 3 years.
Ah, damn. You don't know where they are, do you?
Well, I know where they are. Yeah, they're here, in front of me. We haven't been speaking.
So get ready to fill your binge-watching calendar as we count down the best fan-favorite HBO shows. Number 10, Olive Kitteridge. Oscar winner Frances McDormand and Oscar nominee Richard Jenkins star in the 4-part drama Olive Kitteridge, adapted from Elizabeth Strout's Pulitzer Prize-winning novel, which spans 25 years. Outspoken middle school teacher Olive has a complex relationship with husband Henry, a good-hearted, selfless pharmacist. Henry finds her harsh and hurtful, yet each has traits the other adores. But their son, Christopher, resents her behavior and hates his dad being a victim. The program depicts life in a coastal town and the effects of mental illness. Starring Frances McDormand, Richard Jenkins, Bill Murray, and directed by Lisa Cholodenko. Critics say Olive Kitteridge's narrative slow burn enhances fascinating performances and a story worthy of its source material.
Oh, dear God. Are you dead?
Apparently not.
Have you been stabbed or shot?
No. Not that I know of.
Is it your heart, do you think?
Could be.
Can you move?
I don't know. I haven't tried yet.
Well, try. Move this one. All right, try it on. I don't have one of those cell phones, you?
Yes. I didn't bring it.
Well, I'm gonna have to go back to my car and drive for help.
No, thank you. Please don't leave me alone here.
All right.
Number 9, The Sopranos. Tony Soprano juggles the problems of his fractious family with those of a family of a different sort, the mob. He sees a therapist to deal with his professional and personal problems, which bring on panic attacks. He fights with power struggles, affairs, violence, betrayal, the threat of exposure, and a whole bunch of people being whacked. Starring James Gandolfini, Lorraine Bracco, Edie Falco, and created by David Chase. Critics say The Sopranos smartly runs an emotional gamut, offering detailed character work and riveting suspense while displaying a flair for both comedy and drama.
did it.
Oh my God.
Who's here? Oh my God, Tony, are you all right? Is he all right? Jesus Christ, Tony.
Daddy, your ear's all bloody. What'd they do to your ear?
I'm just putting in a few stitches to create a nice closure.
Oh, Jesus, we were so scared.
They almost killed you for a stupid car.
I guess nobody told them about the kind of gas mileage that thing gets, huh, Ed?
Not funny, Dad.
Number 8, Rome. 2 Roman soldiers are caught up in the historical events of an era that included the death of a republic and the birth of an empire. They encounter war, political intrigue, assassinations, family tragedies, and more, all while surrounded by historical figures such as Gaius Julius Caesar, Mark Antony, Gaius Octavian, and Cleopatra. Starring Kevin McKidd, Ray Stevenson, and created by Bruno Heller, William J. McDonald, and John Milius. Critics say Rome builds slowly, but a laborious start delivers rich rewards in the form of decadent sets, delicious drama, and a surprising amount of intimacy.
Sir.
It has been an honor and a pleasure leading you. And I am sorry we could not do better. But you must look to yourselves now. Save your skins.
Sir.
Give my best to my mother. Tell her. Tell her something suitable.
Number 7, Generation Kill. Highly trained young Marines of the 1st Reconnaissance Battalion struggle with inadequate supplies, bureaucratic snafus, and poor communication as they lead the drive into Baghdad during the first weeks of the war in Iraq. In a 7-part miniseries based on the best-selling nonfiction book by embedded Rolling Stone correspondent Evan Wright. Starring Alexander Skarsgård, James Ransone, Lee Tergesen, and directed by Susanna White and Simon Sellin-Jones. Critics say Generation Kill plunges the viewer into war with a visceral force that's still somehow reined in by masterful storytelling and a strong command of period details.
I imagine there are some of you think we have to give wounded civilians every consideration we would give ourselves. That is not true. The ROE say we have to give them the same medical care they would get by local standards. The standards here are fucking zero. It's a shitty situation for us. But nobody put a gun to our heads and forced us to come here. We're all volunteers.
Number 6, 6 Feet Under. Laced with irony and dark situational humor, the show approaches the subject of death through the eyes of the Fisher family, who owns and operates a funeral home in Los Angeles. Peter Krause stars as Nate, who reluctantly becomes a partner in the funeral home after his father's death. Starring Peter Krause, Michael C. Hall, Francis Conroy, and created by Alan Ball. Critics say 6 Feet Under's unusual setting provides a perfect backdrop for the macabre meditations on mortality made by its brilliant, brooding cast.
Dude, we've been honking for like ever. Let's go.
Yeah, we're gonna be late.
David. What's the grip, man? Lightweight.
Number 5, Band of Brothers. This series, originally broadcast on HBO, tells the story of Easy Company, 506th Regiment of the 101st Airborne Division, U.S. Army. Based on interviews with survivors of Easy Company, as well as soldiers' journals and letters, this 10-part series chronicles the experiences of these young men who knew extraordinary bravery and extraordinary fear. Based on the book written by Stephen Ambrose. Starring Damian Lewis, Ron Livingston, Rick Gomez, and created by Tom Hanks and Steven Spielberg. Critics say Band of Brothers offers a visceral, intense look at the horrors of war and the sacrifices of the millions of ordinary people who serve.
Joe? Joe, knock it off! Damn it, what? You're bleeding.
It's nothing, Cap.
I want you to take these prisoners back to Battalion CP. Get yourself cleaned up.
Sir. Come on, Kraut boys.
Joe?
Yeah.
Drop your ammo.
What?
Drop your ammo.
You kidding me? What are you doing?
Give me your weapon.
Yeah.
You have 1 round. Johnny, how many prisoners do we have?
Got 11 right now, sir.
Okay. You drop a prisoner, the rest will jump you. I want all prisoners back at Battalion CP alive.
Sir.
Number 4, Oz. Inmates and correctional officers inside the Oswald State Correctional Facility, nicknamed Oz, battle for power and survival amid warring factions and explosive acts of retribution. Much of the show takes place in Emerald City, an experimental unit in the facility that tries to emphasize rehabilitation and learning responsibility while being incarcerated. Tim McManus is the unit manager of Emerald City. Starring Ernie Hudson, Terry Kinney, Harold Perrineau, and created by Tom Fontana. Critics say the patient zero of HBO dramas pushes the envelope in graphic content and storytelling ambition, but its relentless provocations dangerously teeter toward schlock.
Your wife's dead.
What?
She was shot, execution style.
Oh, shit. It's too bad, yo. All right. Real sorrowful, Cam. Real sorrowful.
There's more.
What?
She was found in the apartment with another man, a Ronnie Smith.
Oh, damn. Ronnie, how's my boy?
They were found in bed together. Look, I've scheduled some time for you to see Sister Peter Marie.
Baby, how's my son?
He's fine. He was at your mother's at the time.
Hey, man.
God. Anything I can do?
Nah. Look, do the cops know who did this shit?
They think it was drug-related.
Can I go to the funeral?
I'll see what I can do.
Number 3, Tales from the Crypt. Based on the EC Comics series of the same name, this campy and stylized anthology series recounts a string of horrific yarns introduced by the show's moldering host, the Crypt Keeper. Episodes feature a number of well-known actors and actresses, including Dan Aykroyd, Malcolm McDowell, Christopher Reeve, and Sam Waterston. Michael J. Fox, Tom Hanks, Robert Zemeckis, Richard Donner, and John Frankenheimer are among notables who directed episodes. Starring John Kassir and Kirk Douglas. Critics say over-the-top gore, pitch-black humor, and heavyweight talent like director Robert Zemeckis make Tales from the Crypt a perversely entertaining, oft-imitated anthology series.
who I am? It's me. Princess Nephra. Princess Nephra.
Number 2, Flight of the Conchords. Cutting-edge musical comics Bret McKenzie and Jermaine Clement travel from their native New Zealand to New York in search of love and professional success, both of which prove elusive in this semi-improvised comedy series. Starring Rhys Darby, Bret McKenzie, and Jermaine Clement, who both created the show with James Bobbin. Critics say a slacker comedy classic, Flight of the Conchords sings, thanks to the offbeat lyrical stylings of endearing weirdos Jermaine and Bret.
They got him good.
Bret.
Victory to the tough Brits.
Oh, false alarm, that's Jermaine. It's my flat mate. Sorry, mate.
Can attack!
Oh, shit. Sorry, man. I couldn't see what was going on from around the corner. Hey, Dave.
Hey, sorry, Jermaine. We were just expecting Missy Elliott was going to come and chop my body off. This is Johnny Boy, Mrs. Lee. This is Jermaine.
Hey.
Let's go back to combat positions. Come on, Dave. How's your day?
Oh, good, thanks. Yeah. How's your day?
It's good. I've been in the ceiling most of the day.
Bret, is your gang gonna be here all day?
And before we reveal number 1, here are some honorable mentions. Barry. Disillusioned at the thought of taking down another mark, depressed low-level hitman Barry Berkman seeks a way out. When the Midwesterner reluctantly travels to LA to execute a hit on an actor who is betting a mobster's wife, little does Barry know that the City of Angels may be his sanctuary. He follows his target into acting class and ends up instantly drawn to the community of eager hopefuls, especially dedicated student Sally, who becomes the object of his affection. While Barry wants to start a new life as an actor, his handler Fuchs has other ideas, and the hitman's criminal past won't let him walk away so easily. Starring Stephen Rue, Henry Winkler, and Bill Hader, who also created the show, with Alec Berg. Critics say PTSD in comedy makes strangely endearing bedfellows in Barry, which proves more poignant than its sketch show premise.
Before we get started, does anybody have any questions?
Перед тем, как мы начнем, есть у кого-то какие-то вопросы?
Is it true you're the most gifted assassin in all of America?
No, I'm not the most gifted assassin in all of America.
Нет, он не самый популярный убийца в Америке.
He's being modest. He is Air Jordan of assassins.
Он шутит, он самый популярный убийца в Америке, как кроссовки Air Jordan.
We're all very excited to be learning from you. Will we be shooting guns today?
Yeah. Wait, how many of you guys speak English?
Okay, bounce. Come on, bounce. Get out. Come on, take a break. Walk.
Euphoria. An American adaptation of the Israeli show the same name, Euphoria follows the troubled life of 17-year-old Rue, a drug addict fresh from rehab with no plans to stay clean. Circling in Rue's orbit are Jules, a transgender girl searching for where she belongs, Nate, a jock whose anger issues mask sexual insecurities, Chris, a football star who finds the adjustment from high school to college harder than expected, Cassie, whose sexual history continues to dog her, and Kat, a body-conscious teen exploring her sexuality. As the classmates struggle to make sense of their futures, the series tackles the teenage landscape of substance-enhanced parties and anxiety-ridden day-to-day life with empathy and candor. Starring Zendaya, Hunter Schafer, Sydney Sweeney, Angus Cloud, and created by Sam Levinson. Critics say, though at times hard to watch, Euphoria balances its brutal honesty with an empathetic and visually gorgeous eye to create a uniquely challenging and illuminating series, held together by a powerfully understated performance from Zendaya.
Jules, I don't think this is a good idea. Rue, it was your idea. I know it was my idea, but I don't think it's a good idea anymore, is what I'm trying to tell you. It was a f***ing great idea. I don't know what you're talking about. Can you slow down? Because I'm thinking, you know, my mom, I don't want her to f***ing freak out, all right? I don't want Jules. Rue, it's not that far, and, like, we're good. We can call. Okay, what am I going to tell Gia, though? You know, like, she's going to wake up in the morning, she's going to think I'm missing. We're good. Come on. It's going to be amazing. Rue! you. Fine.
Game of Thrones. George R.R. Martin's best-selling book series, A Song of Ice and Fire, is brought to the screen as HBO sinks its considerable storytelling teeth into the medieval fantasy epic. It's the depiction of two powerful families, kings and queens, knights and renegades, liars and honest men, playing a deadly game for control of the seven kingdoms of Westeros and the Iron Throne. Starring Peter Dinklage, Nikolaj Coster-Waldau, Lena Headey, Emilia Clarke, and created by David Benioff and D.B. Weiss. Critics say its intricate storytelling and dark themes may overwhelm some viewers, but Game of Thrones is a transportive, well-acted, smartly written drama even non-genre fans can appreciate. Finally, number 1, The Corner. Gary, Fran, and their teenage son, DeAndre, live in the slums of West Baltimore. They used to have a normal suburban family life until Gary and Fran fell into problems with substance abuse. Now, doing anything to satisfy their addiction, Gary and Fran are estranged and their existence is day-to-day, hand-to-mouth. DeAndre has a chance of escaping the abject poverty his parents live in by getting his head down and staying in school. But he has his own problems. He's tempted into becoming a drug dealer, making his living on the corner. Starring T.K. Carter, Condi Alexander, Sean Nelson, and created by David Simon, David Mills, and Ed Burns. Critics say, powerfully performed and authentically written, The Corner is an unwavering depiction of life under the thumb of addiction and poverty.
Man, time's up.
Everybody, up against the wall. Right down. Let me see your hands up against the wall.
DeAndre, get your ass over. You going somewhere?
Now, up against it.
What's up, Bob Brown?
You got anything in your pockets? Little man on a big corner, huh?
Nah, I was just passing through.
Just passing through. Good gun.
Why don't you let your partner search me?
Is he going?
Nah. He's got a mouth, but he's clean. I haven't seen you looking out a window today. You're taking a humble.
You saying I can't be outside?
Nope, not today.
That ain't right.
You're on my corner. I decide what's right. Now get.
Well, my friends, that about does it for us. Be sure to stay tuned to the Rotten Tomatoes channel for more of the entertainment content you love. Until next time, I'm your host, Naz Perez, and we'll see you back here for more Top 10s on the Rotten Tomatoes Countdown.